Today we shared a vision for Microsoft to kind of unlock a new wave of creativity for all of us, really on the back of two things. One, the next major update for Windows 10. And the second is 3 new devices for Surface, including Surface Studio, a new Surface Book, and a new input mechanism called the Surface Dial. And so starting with Windows, we had really 3 things we want to do. One is enable everyone to create, capture, and share in 3D. So in the same way that you can take a picture with a digital camera, we're going to make it so that you can actually scan something and put it into 3D. And an example, I have it running here, is Windows 10. This is a Microsoft Paint used over by 100 million people every month. And you can see now I can do 3D objects. And if I wanted to, I could actually come in and actually sketch something in 3D with a pen, just like that. And it's really one of the easiest things you can do. So that's been a huge change.
And it's interesting. And now we're actually we've got our computer now, our camera on the laptop that you brought. Just show us what you were doing again.
Sure. So like if I wanted to go ahead and, for example, create something in 3D, I can either take a picture with my camera, or I can literally just with my pen draw a picture and convert into a 3D object just like that.
It's very creative. And, Cory and I think we're thinking about this, and I think a lot of people were thinking, man, it sounds like they're kind of going after Apple's market. Is that what it's all about? I know Satya Nadella has talked about that this being kind of, the company, Microsoft, the company for makers and creators. Is this kind of a real big change for you guys, and are you kind of going after Apple's market?
Well, I think the way we think of it is a kind of a bigger theme, which is if you kind of go back in technology 10 years ago, access to information was kind of a challenge. Now we have too much, and so information overload's a challenge. We think the next big challenge is to go from consumption, where we're just consumers, to creators. And so this has become a goal for the company across everything we do, our software, our devices, Windows, and Office. And we think this is the right time. And part of that is because we're moving this new world of virtual reality,
right,
mixed reality, where these 3D objects and this learning becomes possible.
Is that a yes or a no then?
It's not so much about Apple. It's about what we hope to do for other people, which I think is a new thing. I mean, take, for example, when I grew up color by numbers,
right,
2D on paper. But today I go see kids in Minecraft, and they're doing these 3D worlds that would blow your mind. And they don't think twice about it. They're like, this is just how we do it.
It's how they're growing up.
Yeah, so we want to make these tools available for everybody.
Yeah, Yusuf, do you imagine, do you look forward and see a market where you've got people who are growing up with a world of Minecraft where they've thought in 3D and they're creating in 3D? Is the current addressable market of creative professionals bigger than it was 5 years ago, and therefore more of a focus for Microsoft because it's just a better market now?
Yeah, I think 2 things there in what you said, Cory. One is there is definitely a core set of creative professionals, and we're going after that with our new Surface Studio device that we announced today. That's kind of a brand new class. But the other point that you made is we want to make everyone a creator. And today I think the notion is there's a few creators that really generate all the content everyone else watches. We want to get to a world where we're back to everyone can create some amazing things. And so our goal is to get hundreds of millions of creators.
We'll talk to
see what my 9-year-old does with Minecraft. It's just, it's mind-blowing. And she's just, it's this totally immersive thing. But for me, what she's doing in Minecraft is what I did in Legos. Like, it was the same kind of thing, the same kind of notion of creativity, almost literally the same kind of building blocks to create something amazing.
That's right, Cory. And the thing that blows your mind is, I'll just tell you the scenario, but this is before us now. You take your computer, you design something in 3D like I showed you there. Then you take that and you say, I'm going to turn that into a hologram, and I'm going to drop it into my real world. So we put on HoloLens and we can see the 3D object. Or I put it in my virtual world. Then I'm going to print it in 3D because we like it and put it in our physical world. And so you can do that now, where you can actually take a photo, put it digital, edit it, and bring it back into your real world. That is now the world we live in. That's not going to be possible because of Windows 10.
As you said, this is the world we are. How quickly do you see everybody kind of ramping up towards this world? I mean, it's out there, but not everybody's on it.
Yeah, no, you're right. And so that's kind of what we're excited about for the announcements today. With the Windows 10 Creators Update, we're going to put that 3D tech, the example of what I showed you, in the hands of 400 million people this spring. And it'll be that easy. You'll be able to scan with a Windows 10 device and take that and put that into any object, or you'll be able to pull up Microsoft Paint 3D and just edit and create in 3D.
It's amazing stuff. And again, you've got the computing power to do that on the front end, which we didn't have it before.
That's right. And so that goes to the other thing we announced today, which is these brand new devices. And the biggest one is a device called the Microsoft Surface Studio. It is kind of a couple things. Number one, it is the device that can turn any desktop into a creative studio.
Right.
It's the thinnest desktop display ever made 13.5 million megapixels, which is like 63% more than a 4K TV. And you can fold it down, and then with two hands create. We have a new Surface Style. It's a new input mechanism.
Yeah.
Similar.